Next on the Love You More Show.
I hopped in the studio at 9, did my first film when I was 11. So it was like, man.
What's the name of that first film?
The first gig I got was One Tree Hill. So I think it's important to, if you're going to be single, be single.
Yeah.
You know, and then if you're going to be married, get married. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
you know, I don't drop names, but you did the residual,
Yeah.
that remix,
Yep.
and you did it to a certain young lady.
Uh-huh.
Do you ever look back and have regrets of any former relationships, things that you could do now that you're this version of yourself?
I still love coming home alone. Like, I still love my space. Like, I still look at my house and be like, all right, when am I ready to share my space? I even get a little nervous kind of just opening up about certain things, you know what I mean? But I also understand it's healing and relatable for a lot of people because I do come from a place like Milwaukee, and I think, you know, people don't really know that. A lot of times we audition for stuff, man, we just not getting it. Like,
Yeah.
Like I auditioned probably about 5 or 6 times this year, you know, nothing. Like I think there's real, like a spiritual warfare connected to your financial goals. You know what I mean? Like if you've never had $1 million,
Yeah.
you don't, you know what I mean? You don't know what to do with it. Like you looking at your account like,
right.
like, all right, what we gonna do? What we gonna do? All right, how we gonna keep this up? You know what I mean? Or like,
I gotta ask you this: how do you go to all of these auditions, right?
Yeah.
And you hear no,
uh-huh,
no,
yep,
no. Oh, you're close, but no. And then you gotta get the call from the agent. How did it go? I thought I killed it. No.
Yeah.
And you hear all of these no's. Like, how do you keep your spirit encouraged
yeah.
to still feel like I'm that person when you hear no so much? Hey, family, Willie Mo Jr. here. Quick question. You ever been sitting there on that internet and you see a familiar face and you think to yourself, man, how did these babies grow to be so grown so fast? I mean, I know you guys watch families that you watch and you see their children and you go under the comments and you think to yourself, hey, how is that the same child? That they do me like this all the time with my 17-year-old son. And I've had the opportunity ever since I was pretty Willie to travel back and forth to Milwaukee. Early in my career, I used to go to this thing with a radio station called WKKV with Doc Love and others. And it was this young man. He couldn't be no more than 6 or 7. 6'7", my bad. But he's just so like intelligent and smart. You know those kids you look and you like, man, this dude's a star. He just got to get the heck out of Milwaukee. And I remember talking to his mother when she was about to transition and move on to Atlanta. And I was like, no matter what, God's going to be with you. And literally the promise that's been on this kid has just been so amazing. He's not a kid anymore. He's like a grown man. But straight from Milwaukee, musician that everybody knows. Of course, you see him on The Chi and so many other amazing television shows throughout his 10 or 15 years of acting. He started when he was a kid, so there's a plethora of things that he's been in. But currently, you see him on The Chi, and he got a new album that's like that. I'm talking about bringing R&B back the right way. The one and only Jacob Latimore is hanging out with me now. What up, champ?
Hey, man, I appreciate that. What a rollout.
Man, how are you like this grown? It's like 28 now? 27?
Yeah, 29.
29.
29.
Well, how old is Chuck? Because I know I'm not getting older.
Oh yeah, man. It's been a ride. I feel like this year I've definitely been able to just like reflect and just, you know, see how long I've been doing this. You know, I started at 9. I hopped in the studio at 9, did my first film when I was 11. So it was like, man.
What's the name of that first film?
The first gig I got was One Tree Hill.
One Tree Hill.
One Tree Hill.
That's when that's when she called. She was like, "You will not believe this. You had a new agent. I remember it used to be a black woman." Or something.
Oh, I had a woman from here, Joy Purvis.
Joy Purvis.
Yep,
Until I think you went on to another agent, but I remember your mom was working so hard and just stepping out on faith.
Yep.
When you look at a mother who steps out on faith for their son, like what does that do for a young man?
Oh man, it's definitely like, you know, me and my mom, we talk about 5 times a day, man. So it's definitely gives me a lot of just strength and just it was just powerful to see. You know, I used to watch my mom work for Sony and watch all the artists come into the Midwest, like B2K would do their radio shows and she'd be moving them around the city, and I would just watch her work, and I knew she knew what she was talking about when it came to just labels and just the music industry. And my dad, side was singing.
Yeah.
And they was the artist, but my mom was doing the marketing stuff, the behind the scenes stuff. So just to see how I had that family support, I really don't know what I would have did without the family support, to be honest. Like, I think it would have happened. It just happened in a totally different way.
Yeah.
But yeah, my mom was just full on support and just making sure that, you know, I'm dressed right. She was everything. My stylist, my publicist, my manager, you know, and she still kind of wear a lot of those hats today. So, man, it definitely just protected me from a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Growing up.
Yeah, shout out to Jacob Latimore Sr. too, man. Major love to him.
Yeah.
Shout out to Pops, man. You know, he a legend in his own right musically.
Right.
So major love to him. So when you have a mother who's so caring, so tough yet loving at the same time, does it make it hard to find a good woman to date when you have so much to compare?
You know what? Not really. I think for me, I think the hardest part for my mom was when I actually moved out the house.
Yeah.
You know, leaving the nest. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, Ma, you know what? I bought my mother a house first. And I was still under her roof when we was doing like maybe sort of the first 2 seasons of The Chi. Yeah. And I just remember being like, man, I gotta get my own spot. You know, like we want different temperatures in the house. I want certain art on the wall. I want to play certain music, you know. And I was in that point where I wanted to invite friends over, you know, and she like vases, I like color. You know what I'm saying? And so by the time I really left the house, I think she started to see like, oh man, you really like, you growing up for real. But even then, it's still like, nah, you think you grown. You know?
Think you grown. I still feel like you think you grown, but I'm gonna let that go. I'm like, what is this beard? Cut it.
I know. But I think I think it's all about me wanting to be a husband. Me wanting to be that. You know, I think sometimes I can get so caught up in my career, I can get so caught up into accomplishments that I may forget that side. I'm like, oh man, like, you know, what does fatherhood look like for me one day? What does being a husband look like for me one day? You know, and I used to always feel like it's gonna clash. You know what I mean? It's gonna, like, if I'm pursuing my career heavy, I'm like, marriage is gone or a relationship is gone, like, slow it down. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I'm also like, you know, if you single too long and you just out in these clubs, you might, you know what I mean?
Player at 40 talking about, hey, what's up, baby?
Yeah, and you can just be caught up into just lustful situations and just, you know, you'll be outside in just the weirdest way. So I think it's important to, if you're gonna be single, be single. Yeah. You know, and then if you're gonna be married, get married. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I don't drop names, but you did the residual, that remix.
Yep.
And you did it to a certain young lady. Uh-huh. Do you ever look back and have regrets of any former relationships, things that you could do now that you're this version of yourself?
No, no regrets. No regrets. It's just more so just like, you know, for me, it was more so just about letting people know where I was. You know what I mean? And we was friends. Right. We was friends. You know,
more than anything.
And I think that was the most important in the foundation of our relationship. So that's why it was hard. You know what I mean? But other than that, like, I still love coming home alone. Like, I still love my space. Like, I still look at my house and be like, all right, when am I ready to share my space? You know, I'm super OCD a little bit. Like, you know, I have a hard time even just having guests at my house. Like, I'm like, my rugs are too nice. You know what I'm saying? You know, I got a bunch of little sisters now, and they wanna be a part of my world more. So, just like opening up that side more. I think I've just been so locked in on my career in my 20s. Yeah. Like, I'm just like, nah, I gotta get this. I can't, you know what I mean? I can't go back. You know, I'm like, I bought my grandparents a house. I got my house. I got my mother's house. I got investment properties. I'm like, nothing can stop this. You know what I mean? So it's just, for me, I've been so locked in on that. Sometimes you forget the family aspect of it. And I feel like I'm getting more into that space now. I think I had a lot of growing to do. I just wasn't ready. Yeah. You know what I mean?
You know, I think you've always been like that. Because I remember speaking to your mom back when you first, like when you were first getting started, and she had this plethora of things that you could do. He could act, he could do this, he could do this. And Jake was like, no, I just want to do music. Yeah. Like, because you didn't want anything to overlap from the focus. Yeah. I think that's always been your primary character. Where did you get that from? Hey, family, Willie Mo Jr., listen, sorry to interrupt this amazing, amazing interview. However, you haven't been obedient. You say, Willie Mo Jr., I have, I'm here, I know, but you have just been window shopping. I need you to go ahead and commit. Click subscribe right here. Make sure that you become a part of this flat out family as we are on our way to 300,000 subscribers. Subscribe right now. Good. Now back to the show. Flat out.
I don't know. I think I was just seeing my dad and my uncles. I used to see limousines pulling up in the hood, like, and I used to see them go off away, and then I used to see them on TV, and then they would come back, and they be dressed in all leather and coats and stuff, and I'm like, where they go, you know? And now that I go to LA, they like, man, go to that spot, go to that. That's where we was in LA.
Yeah.
I'm like, pops, them apartments is not cool no more. Like,
that's how you got to live,
you know
right
what I'm
out
saying?
there.
Yeah. So I think just seeing the entertainment from my mom's side, is just the marketing, her going to Chicago, you know, every weekend or once a week to just pursue her dreams, and then seeing my dad and then my grandparents really raising me for real. Like when my parents was busy, I think it was that really just shaped me. It just had me so locked in, like, oh, this is my purpose. This is what I'm gonna do. Yeah. And from 11 years old, this has turned into a career. Yeah. You know, I haven't had to. This all I know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to. Like, when I do the shy, like when I'm working in Sonny's, like I'm like, whoa, I ain't never did that. Like I'm working, I'm behind the cashier register. I'm like, okay, like what do you do when like?
So this is really active.
Yeah. So you know, the shy has definitely been a eye opener for me too, and just a dope, humbling experience, and just having that kind of window peek of fatherhood, window peek of relationship and the household, and having kids and all that. So I'm like, you know, it's like I'm like, woo. You know, when I get back home from set, I'll be like,
dang, that's what y'all going through.
Yeah, that ain't my life.
Like, y'all got it hard out here in these streets.
Nah, but it's some beautiful moments too, and it's dope. But it's definitely been a lot of reflecting, you know, these past few years, man.
So, you know, I mean, I always tell the truth, man. Like, I went through uncoupling about 3 years ago, and, you know, my boys are older. You know, my son is 22 years young. He's down at the University of Mississippi. He's working as a grad assistant for the football team, and he's recruiting. He's doing really well. Then, of course, I have my 17-year-old boy. He's about to go off and probably, you know, I'm probably going to, hey, man, call Jacob and see what's going on, because, you know, he's just into the arts, et cetera, et cetera. Don't want him to go down the wrong path. But, you know, starting to date again and just saying, okay, I do want companionship. Yeah. Your mother did the same thing later in life. Right. And she had to walk in and introduce you to somebody. Yeah. And say, okay, I want this person in my life. Like, what's the best way for a parent to introduce their child to their new mate?
For me, Cersei was like, we kind of entered into like this family business. When I moved to Atlanta, I was also signed to his record company at the time. And, you know, I think when we maybe stopped doing business, we had to figure out, okay, like, all right, now what's this? You know what I mean? Yeah. Because it felt so family at that time. And then, but Cersei has always been just super dependable. Like, I think for me, like anytime I needed something, he don't really talk much, but when he do, but he's an action driven person. So if I need something, he was always like, I got you, shawty. I got you. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think for me, it was more so just about him coming in and just doing and being, you know. I always trusted who my mom loved or who she decided. I was always going to rock with whatever she went. So Serge just showed up in our lives and he really, you know, was, you know, like a really like a shelter for us for Atlanta. You know what I mean? Like we was all in Camp Creek, living in one house. We had producers in the house. Yeah. I'm recording. He's paying for making sure I can get to New York for New York showcases and record labels. We out in LA, like staying at other producers' cribs, just trying to shop a deal. And, you know, so he stepped in. I think, my mom just
When did you discover, like, wait a minute, y'all...
Immediately, because for like me, I was so young that I've never really seen my mom and dad be romantic. Exactly. You know what I mean? So at that time, it was just like, oh, this is my mom, this is my dad. They was already separated. Yeah. You know what I mean? I've never really seen the romantic side of their relationship. You know what I mean? I seen a lot of ugly. Like I seen a lot of ugly early, and I was like, okay, they can't match well. Yeah. But Serge just came in like a father figure, you know, and I think I've always sort of looked for multiple father figures in my life. You know, my grandfather being one, my father being one, Cersei being one, and even today, like when if I'm into the real estate space, I'm like looking for you know, those mentors, you know, men of God, you know,
Right.
married men, you know, family men who just focused on their careers. And I'm like, this what I want to mirror that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Search came in and just like really changed the game for us, man. Shout out to Search.
I think I was so hella happy. Like
Yeah.
it's like I'm grown, bro. Like I should not be this happy, but I just always wanted the best for your mom. Like she just works really, really consistently and hard. And I remember she called one time. She needed prayer for something, man. And like for that whole week, like I was just like, hey, okay, cool. I'm gonna push the plate away. Like there are so many people on the backside that's just praying for you, just because. Just kind of what you represent. And there's no pressure for you not to be fun. Like, I'm so glad on your music and the shirts off and having fun and doing your thing. Because I'm like, yo, like, you don't have to be, you know, what other people think you need to be. And I think you do a really good job of wearing both hats of actor and musician and, you know, son and, of course, businessman. However, I do want to ask you this. There has been so many young men who have had to go through that season of just like tough public conversation of what they had to go through. At this level of the game, how do you give the parts of Jacob that are intimate but still protect the brand and kind of knowing who's who? Man,
it's hard. It's hard because I've never really been. I came in the game where like it was cool to be Mystique. Now it's kind of like, all right, who are you? We want to get to know you more. And then I'm just kind of like, dang, like I really want to keep parts of my life private. But so it's definitely like I even get a little nervous kind of just opening up about certain things. You know what I mean? But I also understand it's healing and relatable for a lot of people because I do come from a place like Milwaukee, and I think, you know, people don't really know that. You know, I don't glorify that. You know what I mean? I'm just like, yo, I follow my dreams and I was focused.
Right.
And they're like, all right, what more? What's more? You know what I mean? So,
but now you come from that place though. Like I know where you from.
Yeah.
And people who know that pedigree, they know what's in your eyes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's in your eyes.
Yes, sir.
It like what's understood don't gotta be said. I don't glorify that goofball stuff. But if you look closely in my eyes, you'll see that I've seen some things way too young.
I done seen it all. And I think The Shy was a beautiful play to just be like, you know what, I can actually show the stuff that I've seen through this character a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I can kind of play that side of Milwaukee that's in me a little bit, like right here, you know? And I think that's why people maybe feel like, oh man, is that Jacob or that's Emmett? You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't know.
It's a little bit of both.
You gotta figure it out. You gotta figure it out. So it's been a dope journey to just kind of show people Jacob, like even just through certain challenges, like the Residuals Challenge or just my music. You know what I mean? And that's why I just titled my album JL, because I'm like, it's time to just show people me. You know what I mean? Like, because the acting side, you're playing different characters and you got to step into someone else's shoes. But music is like, all right, I'm putting my heart out on the table.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's becoming huge.
Yeah.
And I know it feels like an elevator. Like you came in today and you like go to the wrong floor and it's like, hey, Will here? And they like, no, but come here. Come hither. You know what I mean?
Yeah, do a drop for me.
Do a drop. Can you do this? You know what I mean? How do you, like, I know they put you a Will Smith young. You know what I'm saying? You got an opportunity to visualize and see how he handled people. I remember you talked a little bit about on one of the interviews about how you could just walk the set. But Will had to move like totally different.
Yeah.
Why do you think God showed you that?
I think I desired fame at a young age. I used to look at a lot of Michael Jackson videos of him like getting off the airport and the airplanes in different countries and seeing like all the fans like, and I'm like, man, I want that. I want that. I want that. And I used to be in the living room just rehearsing hard with the TV remote, and then boom, I book a film like that just to see somebody that, you know, I've always looked at for years, and just to see his stardom up close. It almost scared me once I saw it up close. I was like, oh, this ain't nothing like the YouTube videos.
Right.
This real life. You got real people from different walks of life, different countries. And we filming in New York. So everybody out there. You know what I mean? We like, he trying to lock in. There's thousands of people. I'm talking thousands of people watching us. Like we doing street theater or something. You know what I mean? So and he just say cut. He's like, how you doing? You know what I mean?
Right.
And then lock in, and he's like telling me about my lines, and I think it was a great way for me to just see an example of, all right, God, like, you want this? I'm gonna show you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna give you a front row view of this. You know what I mean, of what you want. And everything has kind of been slowly but surely like getting to that point. You know, I think it's hard to be another Will Smith today because it's so much content out. But the Shy has definitely been a ride and an experience like no other part of my career. You know what I mean? Like, just different fans and walks of life of people just watching this show.
They be thinking that's
incredible.
you too.
Yeah, they like Emmett, and I'm like, huh? You know what I mean? So it's dope though, because it's like when I watch Friday or when I watch, you know, Everybody Hates Chris, I'm just like, I'm fans of those actors from those pieces of content. So the Shy is definitely like, you know, I'm gonna be that character forever. You know what I mean? To the culture, I think.
So 29 years old, I can't call you Lil J.
Yeah,
no more.
nah, it keep me feeling young, man. Still say it.
I'd be
Still
like
say it.
Jacob Latimore. Because when I used to call your mom, but man, tell Lil J, you know, it's like Lil J, then it becomes Jacob Latimore. And now it's JL, and you continue to grow. I got to ask you this because you talked about purchasing homes for your grandmother.
Yeah.
And you talked about purchasing homes for mom, and then giving yourself an opportunity to finally get your home or whatever.
Yeah.
You pull back up to Milwaukee, and you see your grandmama and them, and you buy them this house. How does Jacob present that to people who didn't necessarily come from real money like that?
Yep.
And that boy doing something on the TV, you know. They don't necessarily understand it all the way, but they know that they excited for you. Yeah. How did you present them with their new home?
I think for me it was like I was already helping out so much. You know, for me it was more so like my grandparents just, you know, I'm talking about Granny Latimore and my grandpa Latimore. I got grandparents on both sides. They actually live in Indianapolis.
Okay, Indianapolis, okay.
And they just, it's such a huge part of raising me. Like, my grandfather really introduced me to God. He like your gift came from God, son. Like, what you see your dad and your uncles when they singing and rehearsing, that gift came from God. He said, we gonna put that suit on and you gonna go to church. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, all that just stick with me, and it just, for me, I feel not like obligated, but, you know, just a man of God raising his sons, being married to my grandmother 40 plus years. Mm-hmm. You know, I just kind of felt like I need to take care of this. You know what I mean? It was just on my heart. I feel like I drew the line in the sand right there though, because, you know, family members like, can you buy me a house? Buy me a house now. Nephew. Yeah, I'll be a good tenant. I'm like, nah, it's over. You know, it's over. So, but it is hard to explain, like, all right, this real estate, y'all, we got already just, you know, money's coming out every month, you know, and I need this, I need that, you know, I need y'all to take care of this, you know. So, and I think sometimes when family even sees success, they like, oh, Jake got it.
Yeah,
but
it's like, nah, it's real.
Nah, taxes is real.
You
know,
ADP
I gotta figure
real.
out how I'm gonna invest to do tax deductions. Like, I gotta figure out this last season of The Shy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? My anxiety get crazy about that because I've had work for eight plus years. You know what I'm saying? So, and I had to take that off. I'm like, oh, don't worry. Like God has already shown you, I'm gonna take care of you. You know what I mean? So, that weight, they don't feel that. You know what I mean? And it's okay. Like, I feel like God definitely put me in a space of just, you know, I'll be able to handle it. You know, it's definitely like, all right, let me show y'all this, but hey, look, this is my house now. This real estate, we gotta take care of this real estate. We gotta understand real estate. We gotta understand all this, and that's why I just surround myself around mentors and they teach me how to deal with family too. You know what I mean? Like, family that don't really know what you're doing for them. You know what I mean? Or how to handle all this. You know, so I think it was just a way for me to just be like, you know, I've been helping out so much already. You know, here's a home, and you know, but I got to set my boundaries at that point because it's a lot of money being spent.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that's the part that you're learning. I'm gonna be honest with you, and this is gonna sound so insensitive, but But I'm so glad that one season is ending.
Yeah.
Because I think the Will Smith opportunity that you saw early, I believe that next opportunity is just gonna be so huge.
Like I definitely
it's like one boom away.
Yeah.
Like I see different type. The next role will stretch you.
Yep.
It's like this is totally not him.
Yeah, and that's so. I mean, I guess I can't really say, but it's a film opportunity. It's like I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of times we audition for stuff, man, we just not getting it. Like, like we auditioning. I auditioned probably about 5 or 6 times this year. You know, nothing. It's close, nothing. You know what I mean? It felt like them days I was in LA and when I was just like, man, like they saying I'm a star, but you a star, but I'm like, what that mean? You know? And when you get on the other side and actually start hanging with producers who are scouting actors for a film, you start to see the other side. You're like, oh, it's not even personal. You know, it's like, oh, it's just when you write for the role, you write for the role. All the actors was dope. My guy was showing me, he like, bro, I'm auditioning actors for this movie. Check this out. And we looked at about 5 or 6 actors who were auditioning for the same part. And I'm like, oh, she dope. Oh, she dope. I'm like, oh, he dope too. Yeah. But when you saw that one, you like, that's the one.
That's the one though.
And
for
I'm
the
like,
role.
For the role, I'm like, and that's when I started to kind of have to just take that weight off my shoulders and be like, hey, you know, if it's not for me, it's not for me. You know, and I'm just excited for that. I am excited for this next chapter and of my career. It's just, you know, the Shy has been such a huge part of my life. Yeah. And
that's 8 years.
8 years, man. So
I've been doing radio for 10 years.
Yeah.
Like this was year 10. I was like, oh my God, but you can kind of feel like God is like, okay, well, come on, bring it back to me because I have so much more work for you to do. And I'm just like, but it's so easy. And it takes care of so many cool little opportunities in people's houses and bills, and it's consistent. And I can look forward to it.
It is, man.
And then you realize that comfort is the enemy of all greatness. And stuff that's phenomenal. Like, you know, you cannot be comfortable. He puts you in these uncomfortable spaces. You can get back foundationally to the word that he wants you to walk out on.
Yeah, man. Do not worry. I think that's a commandment. You know what I mean? I think that's like a real thing. And sometimes we let worry and stress and financial gains and like I think there's real like a spiritual warfare connected to your financial goals. You know what I mean? Like if you've never had $1 million, you don't, you know what I mean? You don't know you don't know what to do with it. Like you looking at your account like, right. Like, all right. What we gonna do? What we gonna do? All right, how we gonna keep this up? You know what I mean? Or like, how we gonna steward this?
And just looking at the number. Like if you can't go in there and see the number, you be like, hey, I done went down to how much?
I done went down to 900,000, not $1 million no more.
Now here go the sad part.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of people that you can talk to.
Yeah.
Because it looks like you're being ungrateful.
Yeah.
So I would have to preface like, I know this gonna feel like it's more than what you think it is, but you don't know the expenses that I'm pushing out every single month.
Yep.
And I'm a father and I'm trying to figure things out. So for you, this look like a huge number.
Yep.
But for me, I'm like, that's 8 months worth of my expenses.
Yep.
If I do nothing, it could be empty.
It could be gone. Like just like that. You know what I mean? If you're not putting it up in the right places, if you're not really like throwing that stuff in your Roth IRA retirement accounts, like it will leave. Like life just be lifing. You know what I mean? You eating, you paying bills. So.
I gotta ask you this: how do you go to all of these auditions, right? Yeah. And you hear no, no, no. Oh, you're close, but no. And then you gotta get the call from the agent. How did it go? I thought I killed it. No. Yeah. And you hear all of these no's. Like, how do you keep your spirit encouraged to still feel like I'm that person when you hear no so much?
Yeah. You know, I think it was just, for me, LA was a dope experience. Shout out to my brother Dexter Darden, who really, like, when I was in Atlanta at the time, before I booked the Shy, he, like, opened up his home to me. He had, like, a guest room, guest bathroom. I was paying him half of his rent every month just to stay there for, like, 6 months. And it was helpful to be around other actors who was just feeling that same weight. You know, they was like, man, after you do an audition, bro, we just got to go kick it and get our minds off of it because you got to let it go. You got to let it go. Like, we may be auditioning for the same thing. You know, you might get it, I might get it, one of our homies might get it. That was for him, you know, and talks with my brother Dexter, just talks with my grandfather, keeping my Bible open while I'm in LA, like keeping those same principles and leaning on that stuff and saying like, you know, the plans I have set out for you, like it's for you, you know. And once I booked the shot, it was like I ain't really been to LA since. So now I'm like, all right, let me get a condo in LA after this. You know what I mean? Back to LA. You know what I mean? But it was it's hard. It's hard because especially when you first dealing with it. But now you start to understand like, man, what's for you is for you, you know, and you gotta lean in that. You gotta really lean in that and be happy about the simple things in life. You know what I mean? I'm not where I was. You know, I'm really not where I was. So I think those are hard to lean into, especially when you're just constantly thinking about the next 5 years of your life. Like, all right, what is now? I'm about to hop into my 30s next year. I'm like, what do my 30s look like? You know what I mean?
You killed the 20s. Though. Let's just get that out the way. You killed. I'm talking about you killed the 20s. I was like, how old is he now? 25. God, dog, we winning. I'm way too happy right now.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
But I'm glad you're going to 30s. What's one thing that you learned from your grandfather that he might not have thought you heard him say? Or he might not have thought you listened?
That's interesting. I don't know. I feel like anytime he talking, I'm listening. He always said, he said, man, something's coming for you, like a big role. He said, it's not the shy. And I'm like, Papa, like, he ain't give you a little more clarity on it, like what it may be. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, I feel like I'm always listening to him for advice. I mean, sometimes I got to get on the phone with him too, just to kind of like, if I'm feeling anxious in my house alone and just I feel like I'm out here alone on this journey, you know, I got to call him to just let me know, like, man, the only thing that really matters is Christ and Jesus. Like, all the things you trying to reach for is temporary. Yeah. You know, as soon as you reach your financial goal, you're going to want to get the next million or two or whatever. And then, so the only thing that's truly satisfying is just leaning into the word of God and leaning into, you know, I'm alive today. I woke up today. You know, all those simple things, and taking a trip to Ghana was important to me. Like, just seeing, like, I'm like, oh, they ain't got no washer and dryer. Like, oh, bro, you tripping. Yeah. You bugging. Yes. Like, they washing up in the lake. You got a nice shower.
When I came back, you know, I was so pissed off at my children. Yeah. They told me to stay in the airport. I mean, stay like in a hotel for 2 or 3 days just so you can decompress. Yep. Because I came in, they was like, oh my God, the cleaners moved I said, if you don't sit down somewhere, I just left people who didn't have running water. Yep. You know, it just puts everything in perspective. But I will say this, I do see that foundationally, I mean, like, you're there. Yeah. Like, God literally wants to take your life as he's already done and get more glory from it. Yep. Like, as long as he has a vessel that he knows he can trust, not with doing everything right. That's what religion teaches us. That if we do this, then God do this. And God, that ain't really the way he worked. He just needs to be able to trust somebody with his glory that's going to give it back. Yep. I tell people that all the time. Yeah. It's like, how do you go from singing to this and then go to that and just switch fields and this, that, and other? I was like, I think God know that I'm so crazy that I'll try it and then be like, he did it for me. And then more people are going to come to him. I think this next season that you have, bro, is like an opportunity to take that shy group of people. And I don't know why, just in my heart and my head, is that the first one will have to actually be a no. Like, he wants you to work on your no too. Yep. Like, no, that one's not for me. Yeah. Like, yeah, I mean, it is, but I see something different. Yep. And it's like, well, right now, how you going? Yeah. Well, it's like, I don't really care.
My agent definitely taught me that too. Just even in the midst of the shot, some offers came in, and he just like, we gotta set our bound. Like, you know, we can't just take every offer that comes. Yeah. And, you know, we from Milwaukee, like, we got money.
Hey, come on, man. What? You know, a lot of money.
Yeah, so, but you understand, like, man, to have a longevity in your career and have, you know, a mentor told me, he's like, man, it's what we said no to. That's why we still here today. You know what I mean? It's the things we said no to. That's why we have so much longevity in this thing. You know, I carry that. I carry that now, you know, and you're right. You got to analyze stuff because they'll throw numbers out. And the script, like,
Yeah.
you know, you like,
Yeah, it's only
man,
it's
like,
only
hey,
30
script cool,
days.
script cool,
Yeah.
bet.
I can maybe switch him. Do I have to do that?
Yeah.
I can switch that. They said they'll take that out. Like, nah.
Yeah, and then you get on set, you like, why?
This is so beneath my floor.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
I'm not gonna say that part, but there are certain roles that I'm just not taking in television no more. I'm
Yeah.
just like, nope.
Absolutely.
I just don't feel priority in that.
Yep.
I'm not doing that no more. It's a waste of time. It takes away from my
Yeah.
vision. It's a big payday. You
Right.
get the check. Hell, I don't even know where half that money be going because then I got to pay taxes. It's like whenever I get out of line of what I believe the Lord is challenging me to be in, it just be like, I'm out here by myself, ain't on this one.
Yep.
I'm like, hey, y'all, I made a wrong turn.
Real
I want to
talk.
go back and just say no.
Yeah. It's important, man. It's important to really talk to him first before you make any move. And
Yeah.
I think that's when the doors really just started to open up for me. Like, I'm like, God, is this it? This the right one? And he would always just show like, this it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the shy was like, this it. You know?
Yeah, 8 years later.
8 years later, man. Because I thought I didn't think we would go this long. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I'm like, every season, I'm like, nah, yeah, I gotta stay on the pivot. Gotta stay on
So
the
do
pivot.
you know what the number 8 is biblically?
No, I don't.
It's the number of new beginnings.
Wow.
Like 7 is completion. 8 is the number of new beginnings.
Okay.
So
Noted.
this beautiful number 8 in this 8th season of this beautiful opportunity
Yeah.
represents a new beginning.
Yep.
So it's already numerically in the earth that, I get a new beginning. So you
Yeah.
can be a strong heart posture because it's new. Like everything is new.
Yeah.
This next role ain't nothing you ever did before. It's a stretch
Yep.
and it's global.
Yeah.
And when you go to Australia, people gonna know your name. You know what I'm saying? I think when you get that global success, that's when you be like, bruh, you can do it in America, but
Yep.
like, I'm
When you number one in 8 different countries,
Yeah.
that's when you like, all right, it's levels.
I gotta ask you this, man, because I have a son who came from a house, although you didn't necessarily see them together, because this pod is more about hurts, habits, breakups, and their journey to loving themselves again. But I just see you work so aimlessly through the cracks. Like mom and dad didn't get together. It was a little tough.
Yep.
You had to go with mom, kept a relationship with dad, this, that, and that. Like, what advice do you give to a parent? Because that was my biggest hurdle. Like, I was like, I just don't want this boy legacy to be messed up because of my own personal decisions. And I don't want him to stand up on a testimony and say, and then my dad, I'm like, oh no, I was there for you. I'm gonna make a diss record on you if you say that.
Yeah.
Like what advice do you give a parent that may, when things don't work out, they didn't work out the way you thought it was, but yet you still are successful.
Right.
And they say that when you come from a quote unquote, I don't call it broken home, but I just call it a different home, a way that God wanted to land me differently. I always tell my children, this is not a broken home. It's just different. Right?
Yep.
And God uses broken crayons and they still color. Come on, we can
That's
still
right.
do this.
That's right.
So, like, what advice would you give to parents who may not have come up together? And, like, what advice would you give them for a child? Because we worry about it too.
Supporting their dreams.
Yeah, like supporting their
dreams.
dreams, or what trajectory did mom say? Some parents be like, well, your daddy ain't this or your mama ain't this because of their own personal trauma.
Yep.
Like, is there a blueprint of making this when it didn't grow from the beautiful American dream?
Yeah, I think it's just important to find some way to show them examples of what it can look like. Or I feel like there's so many stories out there of broken families that and it just arose, grew from the concrete of just the situation. You know what I mean? It's hard to instill that into a child or instill that to a parent because it's like, they only see what they see, and it's important to just have that supervision of just like, no, it's all either way, it's still gonna be good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Parents being together, parents being separated, ain't gonna stop what God got for you. You know what I mean? It can't. Like he made us. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just, and it sound crazy to somebody who just don't believe or don't really get it. You know what I mean? And it's important to just stay diligent, stay focused, and stay locked in on just, if I want to do something, or if I want my son or I want my daughter to be focused on this journey, like today is probably the most, it's a lot of mentors I haven't met yet. Like I get online and just be like, I want to learn about this. Boom. Boom. I got 18 mentors. I don't watch 1,000 videos. I don't watch podcasts. I don't watch, this person invest in this or whatever. And, the internet is a great place for, I think, for young people to dive into mentors they don't have to meet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't have to meet your mentors. They don't have to be on your block. Yeah. You know what I mean? You can get on their website, get on that phone, and actually do something with it instead of just scrolling.
Yeah.
And actually follow some things you need to follow. And the parents need to get involved too, because every parent don't know. Yeah. You know what I mean? They don't know, like, thank God my mom knew about the music business. Thank God my dad knew about the music business. But I've seen a lot of parents not know and put their child in situations or whatever and just kind of let them go, but not really learning about the business. And then now they feel like they out there on their own, and and because my mom have had talks with parents in that way of just like, well, no, this how the labels go, or this how
right, this is how it works.
This what happens when you get out to LA, or this is the and my mom is still learning. She makes sure she's trying to learn something every day, especially on the film side. Like it's a totally different world. So I would say it's important to find mentors online, especially with technology increasing. Like, man, you can touch places you don't have to go, man. Like you can really, and there's people out there putting out content and want to help people, and whatever you want to do, whatever that is. If you want to be a lawyer, it's
right. Like,
man.
Hey, we got
YouTube University
ideas.
is I studied real estate. Like I was on real estate YouTube for like a year before I bought anything. You know what I mean? And I'm still learning stuff. You know what I mean? So it's important to just educate yourself on what that thing is. It don't matter how the family split. You know what I mean? Because they probably got the similar stories. You know what I mean? You got crazier stories where somebody started off homeless, no parents. Just and they still made a way. You know what I mean? And we always got to remember that the spiritual father is always with us. God is always with us. So when it seemed like no family around, when it seemed like the family's divided, like you still got that connection with, the creator who really just brought us all here. And it's if again, like it's tough for people to hear that who don't tap in.
Indeed. Hanging out with an actor like Jacob Latimore is amazing. But you have been acting like you want to be a part of this show. Are you interested in working with a crowd of people who are extremely engaged in the content? I'm not talking about just viewing, but people who actually engage with the content. Well, that's what we represent here on the Love You More show. We have an audience of thousands upon thousands of people who would love to hear about your product. Now, we are very particular who we partner with. The Bible says that how can two people walk together unless they agree? If you look at our family brand and you see what we represent and you think it's a great partnership, go ahead and email right here, right? Click that email us, or click the link in this YouTube, and we'll look through your business and see if it's an opportunity for us to partner. It may be a perfect fit. If you believe it, hit the email. Now back to the show, flat out. I know we're scrapped for time.
I'm free all day.
But I just got to ask you this: in the industry. So when I moved to LA, signed with Warner Brothers, even though I was doing a different type of music, I was like, all right, come on, y'all, let's pray real quick. And I pray, and everybody will be like, hey, bro, like that's cool. That's great energy and this, that, and other. I was like, y'all don't be going to church out here.
Yep.
I'm straight from St. Louis. We just do what we do. We can be out there doing Lord knows what. But be like, hey, bro, come in right quick.
Yep.
All right, God, just give us strength.
Club on
show.
Saturday,
and
church on Sunday.
Exactly. Come back out there. Just make some noise.
Yep.
And I was just like, I know that might not feel right, but we just had this sense of God. And I just can kind of hear, like, when you're out there, like, is the vast majority of the industry somewhat not tapped in with God in y'all generation or whatever?
I think there is a lot. I feel like for me, I've always just gravitated towards who leaning more on the word, who leaning more on the let's go to church, or hey, let's not do that. Or, you know what I'm saying? Hey, nah, that ain't the right crowd. You know, because I went out to LA and seen a lot of dark stuff. Like when I first went out there, I was like, this can't be it.
I
came from Milwaukee. This can't be it.
Right.
Like, this can't be it. You know what I mean? And shout out to my brother Dexter, man. And I was like, I'm like, this is my guy. We met on the set of Maze Runner, and after we finished filming that, I was like, man, I want to go out to LA, but I want to be around the right people. You know, I want to be around the right people especially for where my career is going. And Dexter was just one of them guys, man. Big brother, like he like, bro, I got you. Like we gonna knock out these auditions, and you gonna be with me. And he introduced me to like just like really cool people. I met the Disneys through, bro. Like, I'm like, okay, then this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, like I want to meet people who are really just who following their dreams and really also staying connected with God, and like that's where it's at. And I watched this documentary called Number One on the Call Sheet. You seen that?
I haven't.
It's like about all these leading actors, and they all doing these interviews. And Eddie Murphy was just talking about, he was like, man, I haven't really dealt with this like whole depression thing that a lot of these actors deal with, because I've always been grounded spiritually. And I'm like, that's it.
That's my part.
That's like, I'm like, that's it. Like Eddie's, seasoned, healthy, family, like, bunch of movies out. Like, I'm like, yeah, like I want that type of peace at the end of my career. You know what I mean? I don't want the other stuff. You know what I mean? Like I want to die old.
Right, and looking good.
Yeah.
Hair still Beijing, then the side.
You know what I'm saying? Like put it in there.
Like Eddie.
So it's important to me that like I know where I came from, and I ain't trying to go back. I want to be able to, when I go back, I want to be able to help. Yeah. And position to help. Yeah.
And you will. Man,
yeah.
As a person who's seen you go from this very talented 8-9-year-old Lil J to this version, I'm just always super duper impressed and humbled by God's grace over your life.
Thank you, man.
I just know that, the sky's the limit. Use your power of discernment.
Yep.
There's a lot of beautiful people that come into your life, but God has that one, and I just know that you're going to protect yourself, man, because you deserve to. You ain't got to play too much defense. Too much offense. That's God's job. But that defense be like, who are you?
Yep.
And send them over here to me. I'll be like, come here, baby. Let me talk to you for a minute.
Like, hold on, what you do?
Now, what's your name?
What you do?
Now, where you come from? Now, what you do?
Yeah.
Family, listen, I hope that you enjoyed this interview, that I had the opportunity to hang out with the Jacob Latimore. And, the one thing that I've learned listening to his entire story is something that I think I should pull out for you. That although you may be in a great spot, nobody knows what you go through internally, right? Yeah. And the beauty of it all is that people may not know, but God knows and he sees. Here's the catch-22. He promised, right? Promised never to leave you nor forsake you.
Yeah.
Meaning that he's never going to leave you, just walk away, or forsake, meaning leave you stranded and do you wrong. There's no hurt, harm, or danger that can come to you. Here's the thing. You are going to win in the end. And if it doesn't feel like you're winning right now, baby, it just ain't the end. Huh?
Hey.
Do me a favor. I want to make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Make sure that you leave a comment. Share this with at least 10 people. And don't forget, baby, to love yourself more. Flat out.
Love you more. Love